Mercy. Music by Mercy again. Heat Nation, we the culture. Yo, E, I need you to call time out. Need Brady to set the floor plan. Tropical blanket, open for the shot. Yo, Greg, set the pick. Still 5 on the floor, still ride for my dog. Still battle on the court, still survive in the war. Keep your eye on the ball, or get burned from the keep this mic off the wall without turning the cheek. From night to day, no sleepy paths or allowed to morning. The nut is sleeping us, never catch us snoring. Live from Miami, report in the heat with 5 Reasons Sports from the court to the streets. Yeah, Ware County, Heat Nation, we say it proudly.
Welcome to 5 on the Floor, a daily insider show on the Miami Heat and the NBA, featuring Ethan Skolnick, Greg Sylvander, Alex Toledo, Brady Hawk, and others from the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Also, make sure to subscribe to Off the Floor for the most heat anywhere.
Gotta win more than one way, right? That's what this is about. Miami Heat go to 12-6 on the season. Here's today's floor plan. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick at 5 Reasons Sports. I got Greg Sylvander. You can follow him at Greg Sylvander. And not a jinx tonight. We've got Major Passons. You can follow him at Major_Passons right now. He's waiting to send his grades until after this podcast, but you can find those on Miami Heat on SI. Brady Hawk's takeaways are already up. He and Alex are at the game. They'll have more coverage for you on Off the Floor. Make sure you sub to Off the Floor. That's our Discord server. That's $2.99 per month. You can find the link right there in the description, the place for the most Heat information and conversation. You're missing out if you're not there. Everything that is good from Twitter, we put over there. So you can check it out. And we put it in all the different channels, and we let you guys comment on it. Also, Prize Picks, use code 5, F-I-V-E, put down your $5, and you get $50 in free lineups. That's our official fantasy partner here at the 5 Reasons Sports Network. So again, 106-102, the Heat beat the Mavericks tonight. The story, who didn't play and also who did play, and what the player who did play contributed. There was no Norman Powell tonight, resting basically after a groin strain over the weekend that he played through, gets the night off tonight. We will see if he's back Wednesday in the NBA Cup game against Milwaukee. No Andrew Wiggins still. But Tyler Herro played after 17 games, an 11-6 record, a whole lot of conversation about how he would fit with this team. We did not get a chance to see him with Powell tonight. That will come. But Tyler Herro ended up doing what Tyler Herro tends to do. He scored. Led the Heat with 24 points tonight. He missed his first 4 shots, and then he made 12 of 14. He made the floaters. He made the runners. Only 2 3-point attempts, 16 2-point attempts. And he was 12 of 16 on those. He also had 7 rebounds, did not have an assist tonight. I know there's going to be conversation about how the offense gummed up. I'm going to make the argument that it wasn't his fault. People are probably going to come at me on that, but we will talk about that as we go forward. And I'm sure there's some who are watching this show in our network who will come at me on that. But I don't think it was him. I think it was others learning to adjust to him, honestly. It may have been his presence, but I don't think it was his performance that led to that. And there is going to be an adjustment period. The best player on the team tonight was someone else, and we'll talk about that as we go forward. But Greg, look, they weren't playing against a great team tonight. That's basically P.J. Washington went off. He had 20. He's done that against the Heat before. He had 27. Cooper Flagg had 12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, the number 1 overall pick. Daniel Gafford had 11 and 11. But, I mean, Dallas doesn't have Kyrie. They don't have Anthony Davis. They're in transition. They've been very good defensively this year. We should say that. They were top 5 in defensive rating, but they struggled to score, and it looked like it. What do you take from this overall other than them going to 12-6?
If you're going to be a playoff team that gets home court advantage in the first round in the Eastern Conference, these are the type of games you got to win. Like, it's a bad Dallas team, and despite the fact the Heat were awful from three-point land, 5 of 27, like you said, Tyler started out a little shaky and then looked really good, and you're right. People are automatically looking at the lack of assists, but he also had no turnovers, so he didn't make any mistakes as well. And I think that this ultimately shows that they can win in more than one way, and it's good for them to kind of, I guess, have to go through some of these challenges and play different styles, because this certainly was not like the 125 points per game that we've gotten used to throughout the start of this season.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, they were clunky tonight. They shot 45% from the field. I was surprised it was that good, but they were the big problem tonight, honestly, other than the movement, was the 3-point shooting. Major. They were 5 of 27 from three. I mean, that's been a catalyst in all this. I mean, let me go through the numbers on this because somebody has regressed to the mean pretty hard here over the last 3 games. Fontecchio was 0 of 7. I've said that I think he's the guy that's going to lose minutes in this, and he hasn't really done anything over the past, particularly when Jovic comes back too. He hasn't really done anything. Yeah, this is 4 games, right, that he hasn't been particularly good.
4 games, exactly.
And Drew Smith was 0 of 6. He's not going to lose the minutes, I don't think, but he was 0 of 3 from 3 in 16 minutes. So 0 of 10 from those two. I mentioned Tyler was 0 of 2. Bam was 0 of 3. And Hawkins was 0 of 1. I mean, that was most of the damage there. Davion was 0 of 1. But Major, what did you take for the offense struggling tonight? What was the reason?
Yeah, I mean, I think to your point, a lot of people are just looking to blame Herro. I mean, he started out 0 for 4, and we saw the hot takes flying like crazy. And so then everything changes in your lens from there. But even once he left the floor, the offense kind of looked about the same tonight. I think it's one of these things, and I've preached this over the years, of when shots aren't falling, a lot of stuff starts changing, right? Yeah. And they could not hit the ocean from a boat tonight, especially at the start of the game. They were getting actually some open looks and everything, and just not even close. And to your point about Fontecchio, he's like a career 37% three-point shooter, pretty good, but he's been shooting around 47%. Like, it's unreasonable to think that's going to stay up. And so you need other guys to step up. Ware actually was their best 3-point shooter tonight off the top of my head. Yeah, he was 3 for 5. And so you need people like that to step up. But I think once shots starts falling, once you get Powell back in and even Wiggins, you add a little bit of dynamic of guys that can reliably hit some open shots. You're not relying as much on someone like Drew Smith to keep shooting well, or Fontecchio to keep shooting 50% or 47%. But I think the offense is going to take some adjusting use to Tyler Herro. He's also clearly not 100%. I would say when you watch him run
looked
down,
winded. He looked winded to me at times.
Sure.
I mean, I don't think he looks hurt. They've given him the proper time on that, but there were a couple of possessions that typically he's a guy who can kind of run all day, and he didn't look like that. And we're seeing some of the comments here. Let's be real, that offense was exactly what we feared when Herro returned. But it looked like that when he wasn't on the floor also. And I do think there's something to the fact that Norm has fit so well in that offense, and they didn't have him tonight. And he's been the catalyst for a lot of the offensive success that they've had. So I'm struggling to see how people are going to pin anything on a guy who
they got the win. Damn it!
Well, it's the win, but it's also he comes back from missing 17 games and training camp. He plays 29 minutes and he goes 12 of 18 for the floor.
Yeah. And what are we doing? We're looking for reasons to be upset. It's ridiculous.
And no turnovers. And he made the shot, the pull up that they needed after Bam, who was not good tonight for the most part. After Bam, made the steal of PJ Washington on the inbounds, and to me
that's our play of the night segment. Don't give it away.
Well, it is, but we have another one though too. We got another one. I was going to go with Davion's pass to Ware, which I thought was a key stretch there. But we'll get to more of them and all that. We probably will get to the Herro thing again. But let's get to player of the night here because somebody else deserves their flowers again. And now it's time for the A-Aggressive Insurance Player of the Night, sponsored by our friend Lynette. You can find her at insurancebylynette.com. That's with 2 N's and 2 T's, insurancebylynette.com. If you need car insurance, renter's insurance, homeowner's insurance, or any other type of insurance, she's the person to go to. Based in Lauderhill, she services the entire Tri-County area here in South Florida, and she will make sure to get you the best deal. She'll probably talk to you about the heat while you're at it. Reach out to her, insurancebylynette.com. And now, the player of the game. This is one of those few games this season where there were not a ton of guys to choose from. You look at the list tonight. I did not think Bam played especially well. Couldn't trust him at the line. He was 5 of 13 from the floor. Again, he had the big steal, but Not one of his better performances. Davion did some really good things, but also had the mistake late, the turnover late, which has been uncharacteristic of him. He finished with 8 points. He also didn't go more on Prize Picks, which frustrated me because I had him over 10.5. Well, more than 10.5. Fontecchio was bad. Keshad Johnson had decent minutes again tonight, which this is now you can start to see something there, which I wasn't starting to see. And Drew wasn't great tonight, and I don't think this was Jaquez's best night either. He did finish at 13.7 rebounds, 5 assists, which is kind of light work for him these days. But he had 3 turnovers, and it was a little sloppy at times. And I think he's been a little sloppy in this recent stretch. There's one answer. I mean, look, Tyler, to me, deserves his flowers for coming back and doing what he did for sure after missing all the time. But Kel'el Ware was their best player tonight.
No doubt.
This right, and this is becoming it's becoming a habit. Spo talked about stacking good days, and again, the effort is there. Like I'm not noticing the things that I noticed before. Major, I'll go to you on this. Like we've spoken about what he's needed to do. I know some of us in the network have been a little hard on him, but right. I mean, it's every game right. Like that's the thing. Like, and this is why. Like because the talent is there. There's not a lot of bigs in the league who are capable of things he can do, and the only thing that's going to keep him from doing them is Spo sitting him because he doesn't do the other things, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like people are, I think, are hard on Ware because he can consistently have very high impact minutes. The comments making me die laughing. But he can consistently have like these type games, and he's stacking them up recently. He's been phenomenal recently, and that's what makes it all the more frustrating when he has those games where you're like, "Are you checked in?" Like that's why they're so frustrating. Not because that's who he is. It's like who he is closer to today. That's who he should be, right? His talent level. He has some of the most talent on the team. Just flat out, maybe even the most natural talent. It's the other things, and that's what's so frustrating about it. But no one can deny how great he's been playing. And to your point, the effort, he's making second, third, even sometimes fourth efforts to get rebounds. He's not contesting shots, like over contesting for blocks. Yeah. He's contesting at the right times. He has tremendously improved his game in a lot of the little things that I think not a lot of people notice other than like Spo and people like that, but Spo's noticing too, right? And that's the big change. It's going to get interesting of what the starting lineup's going to be because like, do you take Ware back out when no
they're not going to.
Let's have the conversation here. Start to have this conversation because I'm going to give you a number. To me, this is the stat of the night. Ready? Who do you think led the Heat in minutes tonight?
Was it Ware?
34.
Yeah.
So that tells you everything. Spo tells you what he thinks with his minutes. So he gave him 34 minutes tonight. Bam played 20. Bam played 29 with only 1 foul.
Yeah.
Ware played 34.
They're stacking good games and good days, just like Spo talked about. And if he continues to do this in 12 games in November, he's up to 13 and 12 as his averages with a block and a half and a steal. Like he's just getting better and better as the season is progressing. Lately, he's been even better than those numbers I just quoted. Like this is what Spo was glowing talking about Kel'el Ware the other day when he was saying, wasn't it so cool to see him with the energy that he just keeps showing it night after night. I just don't see any way that he doesn't remain in the starting lineup. And I think it's how they're going to try to get Davion, Tyler, and Norm all on the court together is with Bam and Ware anchoring those three.
Okay, but then you're starting 3 guards and 2 bigs. And I had this conversation with Sean, and again, he doesn't care about the positions. I know a lot of people don't, but there's literally no wings in that group, right? Like there's no traditional wings in that group. So if that's the lineup that you're going to go with, if you're not going to start Wiggins or Larson, and that's the lineup that you're going to go with, then somebody's going to need to guard someone they're not really capable of guarding. Like Davion takes the quickest guy. And Bam probably takes a lot of reps on the elite wing, right? Is that how you have to go?
Yep.
And Norm's going to have to guard up pretty much?
Yeah.
and they're still going to hunt Tyler.
It's a big ask. There's no doubt.
Well, yeah, but Jaime's not a wing. See, that's the thing, though. And the comment comes in here about Jaime, but Jaime we're talking about what they're going to start. Jaime's not going to start. Jaime's going to play a ton of minutes, but he's not going to start. So if you're starting Bam or Ware and Bam, and then you're starting Powell, Herro, and Mitchell, which is, I understand the reason for it, but you're leaving Wiggins, Larson, and Jaime all off the bench. You're bringing your 3 wings all off the bench. I'm just wondering, if you look at certain teams, let me throw a team at you. You ready? What are they doing with Detroit? Who's guarding Cade? Who's guarding Cade?
Yeah.
Is Bam guarding Cade? Davion?
Yeah, that would have to be
Davion starts on him.
Davion
He's
would
giving
be
up how many
small.
inches to Cade?
Yeah.
Bam has to guard Duran.
Okay, so that's the thing. Like, see, I think that there's and people are saying Wiggins, right? I think it's Wiggins, so I think Wiggins starts that game. Like, if you're, see, I don't know, and this is the one thing we really haven't discussed, and I want to get to the play of the night and focus more on today because there's more time for this. But and look, somebody's always going to be hurt. Also, we know that it's the Heat, right? Yeah. So somebody's always going to be hurt. Somebody's always going to sit. So this is going to solve its own problem. But I don't know that Spo's necessarily going to decide on a night after night starting lineup. It sounded like he was going into the season thinking about some variables, and that was even without Tyler. The only thing we know is, so people can stop this, okay? Tyler and Norm and Bam are going to start, okay? Like that we know. Then it's Davion.
And every indication has been that he thinks Wiggins is a starter too. He's never not started Andrew Wiggins.
No, he hasn't. And Andrew Wiggins has never not been a starter in the league also. And also Andrew Wiggins is a possible trade piece. And I don't know necessarily that they're going to bring him off the bench because he was playing at a pretty high level when he was playing before. So this gives Spo a little bit of a respite here to figure it out. Maybe he brings Wiggins off the bench at first before he gets his minutes up, depending on the severity of that injury and what his conditioning is after it. But I mean, it's a hip flexor. It's supposedly a 2-week injury. So it could be 2 or 3 weeks. It could be another week or two. But I'm just the Bam Ware, the Ware, Bam, the Wham, whatever we call it. And then the 3-guard lineup. Like I understand the reasons for it. I just think against certain teams, who's guarding Brandon Ingram? Because Toronto's on fire right now. They're 11-5, right? So let's say they're for real.
I mean, in a game 7, Bam shuts his ass down, but I understand your larger point. Your point stands.
Let's go to the play of the night.
And now it's time for the X-Ray of the Play of the Day, brought to us by our friends over at Mobile C-Arm and Staffing Services. Nelson and his team will bring the X-ray equipment and the staffing to you. If you work in a hospital or a medical office, get a consultation today at c-armandstaffing.com or give them a call at 561-891-9620. Their fleet of trucks at your service. Again, it's Mobile C-Arm and Staffing Services, 561-891-9620. And now, the X-Ray of the Play of the Day.
I mean, do we have to go? We got to go with the play that I already gave away, Greg? What do you think?
I mean, that was going to be the easy answer for me. But if you have another good one that deserves call out, I think there was a few great ones. But that Bam stealing the inbounds, getting it ahead, Pele over to Tyler for the floater meant Tyler was back. I just feel like that articulates the night because it was a kind of a sludge fest otherwise. So that was the one pretty play. But if you got another one,
I'll go with it. I love the Davion pass to Ware. There were some others. The Herro Ware connection is there. I think that is something to watch. I do think they're going to run more pick and roll to get Tyler sort of into his game there. I'm getting back to Tyler here on a second and all the floaters. I'm surprised that's what came back first, honestly. Like if his he hasn't been able to use his legs the way he's been able to use his upper body over the past few months, right? Because he was healing a foot and ankle. And it just strikes me that that's a difficult shot to get timing on. The amount of work
degree of difficulty is hard no matter what.
Right. And now you're coming back with that kind of rust, and he was literally like tickling the rafters with some of those shots. that is, I don't know. That was highly impressive to me. And I understand, again, I understand all the limitations, and I understand defensively he had 3 steals in the first half. Like, he was competing defensively. He's never been a bad off the ball defender. The problem with him is when there's a bigger, stronger, quicker player that he has to guard one-on-one, or then he's screened, then that's an issue. Off the ball, he's fine. Playing the passing lanes, his competition level, that's never really been a problem. It's the other thing that I am in agreement with, and there's really nothing he can do to fix it. Like, it's the player he's been since he got into the NBA, and it's not going to change a hell of a lot. But let's please stop with the comments of Tyler or Powell coming off the bench. It is not happening, okay? Mm-hmm. It is not happening. It wouldn't have happened tonight if Norm had been healthy. They, for better or worse, okay, Major, they need to see what the two of them look like together. Like, that's a future decision. There's tens of millions of dollars on the line based on whether or not that can be either a backcourt or 2 out of 3 guards playing together. They're not going to wait to get to it in games. Like, they're just not.
Yeah, no, it's it's got to happen. They're both going to start. Also, you don't bench a guy after he made his first All-Star team. He's going to start. Norman Powell, I think I even said this before the year, like, Powell was kind of used to coming off the bench some in his career. He's been way too good to not start either, so we can put that to rest. Any inkling that he might have ever come off the bench is just dumb now. Like you said, Bam's got to start. And to your point of, like, they can change their lineups all the time, that's a great problem to have. Like, that is a phenomenal problem to be like, we have a lot of guys that can play at a starter level. Who's going to start today? Then you can have freedom. You're not stuck in a certain lineup. But yeah, I mean, Tyler Herro has to start. He's fighting for an extension too. And, like, yeah, everyone's fighting for championships too. But when you're talking tens of millions of dollars and even potentially $10 million a year difference, like, it does play a part into it. And Tyler's still trying to take that next level in his career. So it's just, people just got to accept it and move on. And we got to see what it looks like together. And there's no indication why it would look bad on offense, to be honest.
People are asking if Tyler's 18 shots was the most for them this season. I know Bam's taken more than that in a couple of the games, right, Greg?
Well, yeah, just by, Norm has had to do that just to hit some of the scoring clips that he's hit.
Yeah,
I'll look that up.
Even with the official, Austin saying, we got Austin Dobbins here in the comments. Check out his work on
I mean, he had 22 field goals, 20 field goals.
Yeah. I mean, that's, again, looking for something here. I mean, I don't think Tyler forced action tonight.
No.
I think, honestly, and I hate to say this, it looked kind of like last year. And I know people are going to blame Tyler for that, but it kind of looked like last year where, like, nobody else really had it. So it kind of
get forgiven for no assists if you get no turnovers, in my opinion.
Right. I don't think, I mean, he got off the ball a couple of times and then the ball swung. I don't think, look, Tyler's a good passer. Like, that's not a problem. He's been a willing passer in the past. So I do think this is kind of, a solution in search of a problem, kind of. That's where what this feels like to me. The defensive stuff, you have my attention on the defensive stuff. All right. The offensive stuff, I just don't see it. And I could envision certain things tonight as I was watching Tyler kind of slither into the lane and get to that floater and just think, and him getting doubled, watching the extra defender coming and thinking, if he's got Norm Powell standing out there behind the arc, who's been one of the best catch and shoot players in the entire league this year, Tyler will make that pass. And if Tyler makes that pass, that shot is going in. And that is going to be an assist. And he didn't have anybody to pass to after Jimmy left last year. Okay. And it didn't seem like he wanted to pass to Jimmy or Jimmy to him before Jimmy left. So this seems like all like good problems. They're 12-6. I don't think he's going to overdo it the way that people think he's going to overdo it. I think it needed to happen tonight because I just don't think they had another option. All right, let's look ahead here a little bit. Again, we've kind of established. I thought Tyler did his thing. Ware played well. The rest of them, Davion was okay. Hawkins was okay.
Ware's been great though. Definitely, we should highlight that he's stacking great games. So he deserves that shout out.
Yeah, there has been. This is. I will go to Alfredo's comment because he hosts 3 yards per carry. The Dolphins are 4-7. They had a bye this weekend, so he's got to go back to dealing with the Dolphins. So I'll read Alfredo's comment here. There's something about Tyler's game that makes players defer to him. He's always led his lineup in field goal attempts for 36, and he's never been a black hole where possessions go die. See, that's what I thought it was today. I kind of felt like some of the players regressed back to last year by like, okay, let's let Tyler do it.
Get like going because it's his first game back. Yeah.
Right. And I also think it was part of it that they weren't playing that well, and so they went back to that also. The bigger issue to me, and you know that I'm a Jovic guy, the bigger issue for me is I'm struggling to see right now with the way they're constructed, like where Nico's going to fit. And that is problematic considering they just extended him. That's the one and everybody knows who follows this show that like I was pounding the table. I've been pounding the table on Jovic for 3 years. I completely believe in him, but he had a runway here before Tyler came back and he didn't do anything with it.
The runway that Kashad used for that dunk tonight.
Right. For all of Keshad's limitations, and you don't want him dribbling. You don't want him shooting much from anywhere.
He looks like Mark Strickland, pogo man out there.
Right, but if he's just gonna run and jump and dunk and defend, Spo's gonna play him. Like Spo doesn't want to have to follows
directions.
Well, Spo doesn't want to have to play the guy that's got to overthink. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Like, because overthinking in this offense is problematic. And Nico was doing too much overthinking.
Yeah, the processing speed has to be on.
It's got to be quicker. And then so I'm hopeful for him because I like his game. I like him personally. I want him to succeed, but I am concerned a little bit about him. I'm not concerned about Tyler and Powell. Okay, it's not, and they'll get better games from Drew and others than they got tonight. All right, let's look ahead real quick to Wednesday night. They've got an NBA Cup game against Milwaukee. We'll preview it tomorrow. I don't know if Giannis is going to play. It was supposed to be a week to 2 weeks that he was out. Wednesday is a week, I think. So we don't know that he's going to go.
I bet he doesn't.
If he doesn't, are you even more inclined to sit Norm?
Yeah,
he's on the fence.
I think you should be really careful there. Groin strains make me nervous just in general with the way that you could injure that more. They should be careful. Their differential also, if we're going to get nerdy and start talking about this damn cup tournament, it's so much. If they just get this victory against Milwaukee, I think that they're going to be in really good position to win this division and get into this playing group. And that's fun. It's a change from last year where we were kind of like trudging the road to awful destiny. At least there is some stuff that looks that, there's upside to this. And the court will be different. And hopefully it'll be fun if Tyler and Norm are back, but I would expect Norm to sit, honestly.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm not expecting Wiggins on Wednesday. So I think this may push back. Also, Spo has had a habit in the past, if they're winning and there's a player who's kind of on the fence, of just letting it sort of ride until, he's going to take the advice from the medical staff, right? Just let it go. If that Milwaukee team without Giannis is a team that they should beat, but this is a team that they should have beaten more easily. And of course, we got the Detroit game coming up later in the week, and that's the one to look to. They are on now a 13-game winning streak. Duncan is shooting the hell out of the ball, by the way. Good for him. I think all Heat fans are happy for him. But it's cleared the path for others, as we know. So the Heat go to 12-6 tonight. We'll have more coverage coming up. Make sure you check out everything that we're doing. We appreciate it. It keeps us going, not just the YouTube channel, but the podcast feed. Off the floor, link right here in the description. Prize Picks, use that code 5FIVE. We're giving you a free $50 and everything else that we do on here because we got a lot of people that are contributing and want to make sure that they keep contributing. So do that for us. We're not ESPN. Also check out. That's a good thing in a lot of ways. I wouldn't hire Kendrick Perkins on SI the Heat page. We took that Heat page from number 23 when I took it over. Major's right for it to number 2. It's their number 2 NBA site this week. So the Heat have had a little to do with that, with the way they're playing. But we appreciate everybody who's been checking it out. All right, have a good night, everybody.